urges are a brilliant early warning system designed to alert you to the fact that you are using your power of thought against yourself. You are creating stress with your thoughts, and it's time to back off and let your mind restore itself to clarity. Like an alarm clock. In many ways, urges are not much different from setting your alarm clock. Your alarm clock is an unintelligent, non-thinking machine, like your lower brain. If you program it to go off at 6 a.m., it's going to go off at 6 a.m. Your alarm clock doesn't know that it's Saturday and that you forgot to turn it off. It doesn't know when you get a new job that allows you to sleep in until 6:30. It has no agenda or preferences. It doesn't care if you get out of bed, hit snooze, or rip its plug out of the wall and throw it across the room. Your alarm clock simply does what it is told to do. It lives out its programming until that programming changes. Just like your alarm clock, urges are valuable information designed to wake you up to what's going on in your mind. If you are caught up in tension, worry, or unhelpful thinking, the unpleasant feelings that accompany urges are there to wake you up so that you can take a step back and let your mind restore itself, as minds naturally do. Urges are the buzz of your inner alarm clock. Loud and sometimes startling? Yes. Harmful or dangerous? Nope. You don't take it personally when your alarm clock startles you awake in the morning. No matter how tired you are, you don't fear or get angry at the alarm clock. It is just doing what alarm clocks do. What if you viewed your urges the same way? Laura did, and it changed everything for her. Laura lived in fear of her urges. She had what she referred to as a major internet habit. Laura's job required her to be at her computer for 8 hours a day, and she was often glued to her laptop and smartphone when she wasn't at work. Most of her internet time was spent reading about other people's lives, either on celebrity gossip blogs or on Facebook. She noticed that immersing herself in all of that gossip not only consumed huge quantities of time and took her away from her own job and hobbies, but also left her feeling sad, lonely, and self-critical. She compared herself to the friends and strangers she snooped on, typically concluding that her life was lacking relative to theirs. Her habit dictated most of her day-to-day behavior and was robbing her of her freedom. When Laura experienced the urge to disengage from life around her and surf the net, she always gave in. She was terrified of her urges for that reason. Laura could not recall a single time when she had not yielded to the familiar drive to check up on her favorite friends or celebrities. To Laura, the urge and giving in to the urge were one and the same. It was as if she had no other choice. When the thought of going online entered Laura's mind, as it often did, Laura panicked. But that one little thought, "Jump online. You deserve a break from work, or you won't be able to hold out all day. You might as well give in now," was completely harmless by itself. It was just a fleeting thought, an invitation to step back and be less in action, not more. However, the way Laura reacted to and interacted with her urges gave them all the power. Laura met that innocent little thought with fear and panic, immediately jumping into, "Why me? Why now? Why again?" She took her urges very seriously and very personally. She tried to reason with them, debate them, and problem-solve them. Her urges tripped off a chain of thoughts about all the reasons she could never change and how this habit might ruin her life. Not surprisingly, the way Laura reacted to her initial urge thoughts fueled them, which led them to take on a life of their own. Before she knew it, she was in the throes of a full-blown physical and emotional urge experience that was extremely difficult to resist. Laura's innocent, misguided response to her own urges created the very thing she most feared. Turning off the alarm clock. There were several things Laura didn't initially see about her urges. For one, she missed the fact that her urges were not personal. She thought they were about her. She thought there was something lacking in her that led her to get wrapped up in gossip, but there never was. Laura was simply experiencing thought. The only problem she had was that she misunderstood and misinterpreted that thought. Laura didn't see that the way she jumped on board the moment a thought about her urge surfaced was what led her thoughts to spiral into something much bigger. Before we began working together, she viewed that initial thought as a precursor of an inescapable internet binge. She truly believed she was a powerless victim of her habit. Nothing could have been further from the truth. As we talked more about how her habit began, how she had unintentionally taught her lower brain to produce urges by repeatedly acting on them in the past, as well as how she had come to mistakenly view her internet time as the source of her peace of mind in those times, Laura began to experience a new perspective on her habit.